diversion left players and officials stranded without any assistance from the Libyan Football Federation, which failed to provide transportation. The Delta State government has proposed a budget of 936 billion naira for the 2025 fiscal year, raising concerns about the state's rising debt burden due to challenges posed by the exchange rate. Commissioner for Economic Planning, Sonny Ekedeye, disclosed this during the opening ceremony of the budget defense in Asaba, the state capital. He noted that the state, like the rest of the country, is grappling with difficult economic conditions and urged citizens to adapt to the current realities. Governors elected on the platform of the main opposition party, the People's Democratic Party, have nullified the suspension of the acting national chairman of the party, Ilia Damagon. The governors have also nullified the suspension of the National Publicity Secretary, Debo Ologunagba, and National Legal Advisor, Kamaldeen Ajibade, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has raided Urban Radio 94.5 FM Enugu, arresting the presenter during a live program. In a statement, the station apologized to its listeners over disruption of the program. Urban Radio says operatives abducted presenters and seized communication equipment without disclosing reasons for their actions. For some time now, the traditional medicine practice has continued to gain acceptability in many parts of Nigeria. Although some argue that the practice is often counterproductive, practitioners are recording increased patronage on a daily basis. From Kano, Global Television's correspondent Idris Jibrin reports on how women queue for herbal medicine.
For several months, Habiba Sani has been suffering from menstrual problem leading to a frequent abdominal pain. Despite her repeated visits to the hospital, her problem still persists. But with the help of this traditional physician, Habiba is now free. So many people came here on a daily basis, especially women and children, and we give them medicine, and by the grace of God, they used to recover from their sickness. Musa Kau is an itinerant barber, otherwise known as Wanzami among the Hausa people. He specializes in offering traditional health assistance to mostly women and children. It's a practice Musa inherited from his mother. This is a practice I inherited from my mother, and my mother inherited it from her own mother. So it's a practice that we have been doing all along. Although believed to be effective by many, especially these women who queue in here on a daily basis, but conventional health practitioners argued that the practice is a double-edged sword.
The way the traditional medicine used to be given to people, the dosage, the strength, the traditional medicine doesn't specify dosage and strength of the drugs the way our own English medicine is.
But not for people like Musa, who believes that with strict supervision and regulations by government authorities, traditional health practice can significantly reduce the burden and pressure on conventional healthcare institutions across the country. From Kano, Idris Jibrin, reporting for Global Television News.
Well, thank you, Idris. Justice Yusuf Halilu of a Federal Capital Territory High Court sitting in Jabi, Abuja, has issued an interim order against the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, restraining the agency from arresting or detaining a former Minister of Defense, Lawal Batagarawa, over a land dispute. The court also restrained the commission and its agents, privies, or anyone acting on their behalf from inviting, harassing, intimidating, or otherwise threatening Batagarawa pending further proceedings. The order was made following allegations that he had been subjected to undue harassment by the anti-graft agency. Justice Alilu also ordered substituted service of the originating process and other legal documents on the EFCC and other respondents in the matter. Indigo dyeing is an ancient tradition in the northern Nigerian city of Kano. However, a dwindling number of customers and cheap imitations are threatening the centuries-old industry. Many dye sites are shut down, and those still operating have seen both their production and incomes cuts by more than 70%. Again, in this special report, Global Television's correspondent Idris Jibrin visited the Kano's 500-year-old dye pit and now reports.
For half a century, indigo dyeing is all Dang Asabe Abubakar has known. It's a trade that has been passed down from one generation in the family to another. But in the last decade, he and others in Kano dye pit have watched helplessly as the business struggled and incomes disappeared. Well, there are so many challenges. As you can see, there are so many pits operating here, but today we have only a few of them. But low patronage is not the only threat to these people. Clothes making technology have changed over time, but not at these dye pits here in Kano. The ingredient and skills used in 1498 still remain the same today. Just 2 decades ago, there were 148 dye pits here. Now only 14 remain. The dumping of chemically treated fabric here, like in most African markets, is a major source of concern for local producers.
So since during the Obasanjo region, Obasanjo has given Chinese allowed to come to Nigeria to take our own work to send to China. The Chinese product, after Chinese people producing our own product here in Nigeria, from China to send it back here and sell it in the Kantun Kori market. So that is our problem we are facing since 2003.
Many buyers prefer 100% organic indigo dyeing, but with fewer tourists coming and exports slowing down, producers are struggling to convince local to buy from them.
Now we are in bad situation of our economy in Nigeria. So Nigerian people, I'm calling them to come and join hand in this to saving Nigeria in this problem.
There is widespread concerns here that soon, even the few pits that remain will also have to close down, bringing to an end a more than 500 years of history. From Kano, Idris Jibrin, reporting for Global Television News.
Brilliant and fantastic reporting there. Thank you, Jibrin Idris, for reporting for us from Kano. Let's turn to the stories for you. The outgoing chairman of Kaduna North Local Government Area, Mukhtar Baloni, has emphasized the crucial role of internally generated revenue in the success of local government administration, particularly in urban areas. At his end of tenure presentation titled Achievements, Challenges and Recommendations held at the Council Secretariat in Kaduna, Baloni stressed that IGRO helped supplement shortfalls when federal funds were insufficient, enabling the Council to execute meaningful projects for the community. The federal government says that the petition by Yoruba Nation agitator Sunday Adeyemo, popularly known as Sunday Igboho, calling on the United Kingdom to consider the Yoruba Nation was not endorsed by the UK government. Spokesperson for Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Eche Abobe, in a statement in Abuja, says media reports on the petition were highly misleading. He explains that following media reports on the petition submitted at number 10 Downing Street by Sunday Adeyemo, the British High Commissioner in Abuja was invited to shed light on the issue. During the meeting, the High Commissioner noted with concern that the matter was overblown, indicating that the media reports were highly misleading. Over the years, millions of children have been denied access to basic education. Despite attempts to take more children off the streets to the classrooms, hundreds of school children, especially girls, are still roaming the streets. From Kano, Global Television correspondent Idris Jibrin now reports.
15-year-old Khadija Ahmed is working to support her family. Like her mother, she dropped out of school due to lack of fund, effectively ending her dream of becoming a doctor. I started going to school, but unfortunately, I have to drop out in order to support my family. This is happening in a state where basic education is supposed to be free and compulsory. Experts say lack of access caused by poor government spending, shortage of political will and poverty are partly responsible. But there is even more bigger problem.
Majority of our girls have problem of access, most especially in the rural area and hard to reach. You can see which we are calling always is this issue of closure of all boarding schools by the last administration of Kano State, which may be due to insecurity, as they said, but it has largely affected access.
In the midst of these disturbing challenges, there seems to be pocket of success stories in Kano State.
As far as Kano State is concerned, there is change and increase in enrollment for the girl child. The concern is completion and mainstreaming.
This is one of the basic schools in Kano State. The facilities here are very good by the state standard. A place where children like Khadija who want to start building their dream can actually learn something better. But the reality in many parts of Kano is this. Girls from rural areas storm the city to hawk on daily basis. For them, it's a way of life. Khadija still hopes to become a doctor one day. But unless authorities remain committed to providing quality education, the future of Nigeria's education sector may likely continue to remain bleak. And Khadija's dream will remain what it is, just a dream, nothing more. From Kano, Idris Jubrin, reporting for Global Television News.
You're watching News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. When the news returns, Nigeria's inflation rises to 32.70% in September 2024. Details of these and more for you right after this break. Please stay with us. This is Global Television, bringing you a live broadcast of News Cycle. Thank you so very much for staying with us. Let's turn to business now. The federal government says it is to invest $2 billion to expand Nigeria's fiber optic network by 90,000 kilometers. Dr. Bosu Tijani, Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, spoke about the investment during a visit to the vandalized Digital Innovation Park in Kano State. In a statement, Tijani said the project aims to increase Nigeria's fiber optic capacity from 35,000 kilometers to 125,000 kilometers, strengthening the country's terrestrial fiber optic backbone. The park, earlier scheduled for commissioning in August, was raided by protesters. In a quest to further revamp the aviation industry by President Bola Tinubu's government, the federal government has upgraded the Muhammadu Buhari Airport, Maiduguri, Borno State capital, to international status. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Kayamo, stated this during a courtesy visit by Borno State Governor Babagana Zumo and his office in Abuja. Kayamo described northeast Nigeria, particularly Borno State, as a commercial city that connects Nigeria with other countries. Nigeria's headline inflation rate for September 2024 rose to 32.70% after slowing consecutively in the previous 2 months of July and August. This was according to the latest Consumer Price Index report from the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS. It is a marginal increase of 0.55% from the August 2024 figure of 32.15%, reflecting ongoing price pressures across the country. Year-on-year, inflation has surged by 5.98 percentage points compared to the 26.72% recorded in September 2023. On the foreign scene, Ukraine has denied allegations that it had supplied drones to rebels fighting against the Malian army and the Russian-backed mercenaries. It comes after Paris-based Le Monde newspaper reported that Ukrainian drones were providing support for the Tuareg rebels, who are benefiting from discreet but decisive support from Kiev. Mali's junta-led government ended a long-running alliance with former colonial power France in 2022 in favor of Russia in a bid to tackle a year-long insurgency in the north. However, it has been unable to quell the unrest and recently suffered heavy losses alongside its Russian allies. Prague is to ban nighttime pub crawls organized by travel agencies in a bid to deter rowdy tourists from visiting and attracting more refined visitors instead. The Czech capital's authorities say organized pub crawls, often aimed at foreign stag and handles, will be banned between 2200 and 600 at local time. Deputy Mayor Jiril Pospipi says he wanted the city to become a place where refinement and respect for shared public space are a priority. Let's turn to sports now. The Confederation of African Football has delisted the Group D second leg fixture of the ongoing 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier after the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Mediterranean Knights of Libya. The game was earlier scheduled to take place in Libya by 8 p.m. after the first leg had taken place in Godswill Akpabio Stadium, Uyo. The Super Eagles beat the Mediterranean Knights by a lone goal in the dying minutes of the game. However, the return leg has been greeted with controversy after the Super Eagles players and officials narrated their over 14-hour ordeal at the Libya airport, leading them to return home. Manchester United have ended their annual multi-million-pound remuneration to legendary former manager Sir Alex Ferguson as the club's new co-owner, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, looks to reduce operating costs. The decision to stop the payments, which were made as part of Ferguson's role as a global club ambassador and non-executive director, is part of broader financial cutbacks under the ownership of Ratcliffe's Ineos Group. Ferguson, 82, who retired as Manchester United manager in 2013 after overseeing the club's most successful era, continued to receive a substantial salary from the club in his post-managerial roles. Quite interesting. And that's a full cycle, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on DSTV and channel 365, Star Times 276, and free to air on Nightcomsat. Kindly follow Global Television across all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles as you now see on your screen. I am Uyi Agmofwebe. Thank you so very much for watching. At top of the hour, it will be time to bring you Big Talk with Edikan Michael.